Okay guys, I have something a little different today. This is a for fun video. Normally I'm doing design team projects, but I was just farting around with some of the stuff I have in my stash. And so I thought I should record this because if I post a card, if I make a card, someone's going to ask me what I use. So we are using the Altenew Wispy Feathers die set. I will link down below. You can get this at Altenew or scrapbook.com. I'll put the links for you. And I just grabbed this die, which is the shadow layer die. And you can see these are pretty big dies. You get 4 of them. You get 2 of the shadow and 2 of the detail. And then I grabbed just a scrap piece of cardstock and some scrapbook.com double-sided adhesive. So the first thing I'm going to do is release one side of this adhesive, or attempt to. There we go. And we're going to put that on the scrap paper. So I'm going to start this way and line this up. Try to keep it fairly straight. Okay, so now we have this adhesive on this side, and then this is our paper, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to die cut this. So we have A and B to our universal platform. C is our cutting plate. And now we're going to run that through. And I guess, you know what? Let me make sure I'm cutting this right. I want to cut it with the adhesive side up, because if I'm going to use the top layer or the feather veins, I need to have this adhesive side up. So cut it adhesive side up, not paper side up. What did I do? Okay, there we go. Okay, now that we have that die cut, we're going to get messy now. Make sure you don't have any air or fans or anything blowing. We're going to use a product that I very rarely use. This is the only pot of gilding flakes I have. Okay. And all we're going to do here, I'm not going to even pop that die cut out yet, is I'm just going to pull that adhesive part, the backing, off. I'm going to hold everything else. You can see I have a little sticky tray here, or a tray, I should say. So now that is exposed adhesive. Okay, and we're just going to go in and add some gilding flakes and stick them down. And I bet this is going to come out gorgeous. This is a little spongy kind of pouncing tool. No rhyme or reason. This stuff will stick to anything. I got these gilding flakes at the stamp show last year from my craft room. The owner is Joyce. She has sponsored Stamp Wars before, and she carries these Altenew products. She also carries the Cosmic Shimmers gilding paste, glitter paste, whatever. So I will link her down below. I'll also try to find other stores for you guys. But you want to try to support your small crafting community, all the little mom and pop shops. And all I'm doing is just picking up some of this. Some of these really big pieces, we're just going to break them down a little bit. And it's going to stick right to that adhesive. Now, as it starts to clump up, we're going to take our little pouncing tool and just kind of in a circular motion. See how that rubs the excess off the top? And then guess what? All the little pieces that kind of flake off will now fill in any exposed areas. So I did not need to use very much of that gilding flakes. And you can see how this gets messy and it kind of gets everywhere. You could also use foil sheets if you would rather use your foil sheets. You can use any foil sheets, hot foil or toner foil sheets. You just stick it down, burnish it, and pull it up, and the foil will remain stuck. You don't need to do anything to set it. Oh my gosh, look how pretty this is. And then all we're going to do is shake this off. Let me grab one of my little dusty brushes here. I guess I can pop this out now. So all the paper did was just give me a backing for the adhesive to stick to. I mean, you could definitely use this. I don't really need that. Look at how gorgeous that is. I was going to put the veining on top, but I don't think it needs it. I think it looks pretty all by itself. I'm just going to use my finger and just kind of burnish that in. Make sure that there isn't anything exposed that's sticky kind of on these edges here. Just make sure everything is put down into place. And that looks really good. Okay, let's see if we can throw together a card. That is really pretty. Look at that. And then for cleanup, we're just going to pounce out whatever we got in there. And this tray is really neat because it has a little funnel system. So we can funnel those pieces back into the jar here. I will deal with that later. We don't need to worry about that right now. But what I will do is put the lid on it. Okay, so let's put together a card. Yeah, we can do that. So I have this. I have a card base. I know I have some stamp sets that say something about feathers or animals. Let's see here. Here's one that says feathers appear when angels are near. I think that's pretty neat. Really, any sentiment will work. Thought I had another one that said like birds of a feather flock together or something to that effect. Well, I think I'll use this one, and I think what we'll do is something a little different here. I'm just going to bring in some scrap paper, and we're going to put that aside. But I want to use this. And I'm going to use it like a stencil. So I'm going to grab my blending brush, and I'm going to grab some colors that kind of go with what we have here. All right, I don't want them too dark. So I'm going to start with the buttercream, which is a lighter color. I'm going to use some Post-it tape just to mask off that one in there. And I did not think about any of this. Like I said, I was just having a little playtime, looking at some stuff I have. And I'm going right on the background here. You certainly don't have to do that. You could do it on another piece of paper, but we're just going to have fun here. And I'm going to grab a little bit of buttercream from Catherine Pooler. This is a nice, light, kind of creamy color. And just stencil that in like that. Okay, I'm just going to kind of do 3 places here. Okay, so very subtle with that color. Let's add the next color, which will be Sandcastle. And these all kind of match. You know, we have gold, copper, bronze in here. So I want to do that. And I don't want to be too heavy-handed. Oh, this is Sandcastle by Catherine Pooler. Just a little bit of ink goes a long way. We don't want the background to overpower our image. We just want, see, some little images of leaves to pop in. I'm going to flip it over so that the leaf, or sorry, not the leaf, the feather is going in the other direction. And just stenciling that in, just very lightly. You see, by going in a different direction, it just gives it a little something. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then the last color I have is Terracotta. Oh, wow, a little too heavy-handed on that one. There we go. So we've got our kind of our little feather background just from using the outline of that piece. And we have our feather. That looks cool. And I don't know where the other stamp is, so we'll just use this one. Not use this. I believe this is a silicone. Yeah, it's a silicone stamp. So kind of big. It's kind of big, but I think I like it the other way better, this way. And my paper came up a little bit there. Just gonna pull that up. I think we'll go like this. Okay, now, because this is silicone, I'm going to stamp this in the MISTI because silicone stamps don't generally stamp very well. They are not my favorite. So let's see how this works. Now this ink is a pigment ink, so it normally sticks to silicone a lot better, but it's probably going to take a couple of inkings here. That actually looks pretty good. We're going to stick with that. And because that's a pigment ink, we want to give it a second to dry, so try not to touch it. And I think to give our feather a little bit more, we're going to put some foam tape on him. Give him a little dimension. Just using the little Spellbinder squares. In case you haven't noticed, these are now my new favorite. I have been using them for everything. I just ordered some more, in fact. Very easy to take the backing off. And look how easy that was to put together. Just using some Cosmic Shimmer gilding flakes, using a die, some double adhesive tape, and then using the outside of that die to make a stencil, and then sentiment. And you can use any sentiment at all. But I think this is great. If you had fun watching me make this, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, put them down below. I want to know if you've ever used gilding flakes. I know some people like them, some people hate them. Not my favorite, but I love how this came out. So put that down in the comments below. I'm just curious. And if you're interested in purchasing any of these products, I will try to find them and list them down below for you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.